Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be playing with one of the most beautiful makeup collections I have ever seen. And I am talking, of course, about the Colourpop x Tinkerbell collection. I have the whole thing here and I cannot wait to play with it. So let's just go ahead and get started. So right off the bat, if you saw my Powerpuff Girl video, you know that I was incredibly disappointed that I did not get the pretty Powerpuff Girl cardboard box. And once again, no pretty box. Don't know what that's about. If you buy a PR collection, I would think it would come in a pretty box. I'm sure the influencers got it in a nice pretty box. I actually paid for it. But anyways, so let's just take a second and talk about this packaging. Oh my God. I'm speechless. This is quite possibly some of the most beautiful, and I mean just absolutely gorgeous packaging I have ever seen. All the pixie dust on the packaging is like raised and glittery, which I'm not gonna say I mentioned in my video with my Tinkerbell collection, but just saying. I'm like, I don't even want to open the boxes because I'm scared I'm gonna rip them. These will 1000% be put on display after I film this video. I am gonna use them, but I am gonna display them as well. So obviously I already have my base makeup done. I am going to go through the products as I apply them just so that this video is not too crazy long. I think I actually want to start with the lip products because these are the lip stains and I've never tried these from Colourpop. So there are two different shades. This one is Clap If You Believe. The packaging on the actual component is beautiful as well. I'm going to swatch everything. So I have no idea how this formula is even going to... Ooh, it's thinner than I was expecting. So that's the first color there. I don't want to do them on the back of my hand because I'm still going to swatch the palette, so I don't want them to stain my hand. And this is the shade Tinkerbell. So that's the second shade there. These are the worst swatches ever. So they are pretty similar. One is more of a mauve and one is more of like a brownie pink. And it does look like they both have glitter in them as well. I don't know which color I'm going to go with. I also have no idea how this formula applies, so it doesn't smell like anything. Ooh, it tastes a little funny though. So that is the first shade. I'm gonna go ahead and put the other one on top because why not? And I don't want too much of a defined lip line for this look. So those are the two colors mixed together. It is a little sticky. I'm pretty sure these are like gloss stains, so they're not supposed to dry down, and then once they fade away, they just kind of leave a nice stain on your lips. So not the glossiest, but we'll see how this works out by the end of the video. So next up, there are 3 Super Shock Cheek products. 2 of them are blushes and one is a highlight on my skin tone. And when you see the packaging on these, oh my goodness. Look at this. It is all glittery. It is so beautiful. I cannot get past the packaging on this collection. Even the inside of the boxes has little Tinkerbells on it. Oh my God. How beautiful is this? So these are the 3 shades. We've got Darling, Magic Moon, and Happy Thoughts. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all 3. So this is Happy Thoughts, the highlighter. And this is a nice pinky toned, ooh, very shiny highlight. I love the Super Shock highlighter formula, like absolute one of my favorites. And this is the shade Darling. This is the darkest of the three. So it is a blush, but would probably make an absolutely stunning, like, blush highlighter combo topper for like a really deep skin tone. Beautiful. And this is, ew, there's something in it. What is that? There is something in my Super Shock. What is happening to my neighbor's dog? I don't know what that was, but it just looked like a piece of paper or something. So this is the last shade, Magic Moon. So that is the last one there at the bottom, and they're all shimmery. None of these are matte, so you can use them as like highlighter blush hybrid combos. I've never actually used their Super Shock blushes, so we'll see how this goes. I don't even know, should I use a sponge or a brush? I think I'm gonna use a sponge. I'll be back. So I'm gonna go in with the butt end of a damp sponge and just pick a little bit of this up. Ooh. So I kind of want to go for a, wow, that is on there. I kind of want to go for a more ethereal look, like the blush on the nose, maybe a faux freckle. We'll see. We'll see how I feel by the end of this. Okay, that's actually a really pretty shade. It's something that I would actually get some use out of, even though I'm not a huge fan of blush. And just for the sake of trying it out, I am gonna go ahead and do a little tiny touch of the deeper one, just to see how it looks. Again, I'm taking a very small amount of that on the end of my sponge. Woo! And I'm gonna kind of concentrate that on the outside, closer to where my bronzer is. Okay, that's nice. It's not by any means scary or too aggressively pigmented. And my favorite part's highlighter. And I usually don't have any kind of problem applying Super Shock highlighters with a brush, so I'm gonna go ahead and just use a highlighter brush. So here's the highlighter. Very beautiful. I'm sure you could build it up even more if you wanted more of a blinding effect, or go in with your fingers just to kind of concentrate it a little more, but beautiful shade. Very blinding. Definitely something I'm going to get a lot of use out of. So next I'm going to go ahead and swatch all the eye products before I do a look with them. And this does come with a little Super Shock shadow set. Wow, say that 10 times fast. And it comes in this beautiful little slide out component. Oh my goodness. I am in love with every part of this collection. So the Super Shock shadows come in that same sparkly green packaging. And the first shade we have here is called Fly to Your Heart. And it actually looks pretty similar to the highlighter shade. So this is just a very sparkly pale pink, but not like a glittery, chunky kind of sparkle. It's definitely a smooth finish. And next we have the shade Never Grow Up. This one is kind of like a plum burgundy, also full of gold glitter. Ooh. Very pretty. And it's actually a pretty unique shade. Like, I have probably around 80 Super Shock shadows, and I don't think I have a color like that. So glad to see that they put some unique colors in here. And the last one we have is called Straight On Till Morning, and this one is the green shade. Just a really pretty, sparkly, like grass green. So there's a green one. And all these shades are like packed full of gold glitter, but not chunky at all. Not a single one of these is that very like super glittery chunky formula that they do. These are all very smooth. Oh my god, I just noticed that if you flip the sides of the packaging on both the eyeliners and the lip products, the different sides of each container complete the picture. Wow. Like, they spared no detail. That's a really nice touch. I actually really appreciate that little attention to detail. So there are two cream gel liners. One of them is like a forest green and the other one is a metallic copper. The copper one is called Lost Girls. So there's that one. I've never tried their metallic formula, so I don't know if it actually translates to metallic on the waterline, if you can really tell. And the green one is called Fly With Me. And it looks like that one is actually also metallic, just not quite as metallic as the copper shade. And again, the packaging on here, absolutely adorable. And now, the reason why you're probably here, the eyeshadow palettes. I cannot express how beautiful this is. Like, I'm at a loss for words. Like this, even down to the detail on the back, the raised glitter, the like shiny moths. I don't know if you can see that. They're glossy and the packaging is matte. When I did my Colourpop x Disney collaborations I would love to see video, I knew that Colourpop would knock this packaging out of the park. Without a doubt, some of the most beautiful packaging I have ever seen. Like, probably my favorite packaging on any Colourpop palette ever. And that's saying a lot, because they do a lot of palettes, and I have a lot of their palettes. So right off the bat, I did want to mention that this palette is bigger than their 9-pan palettes. Not by a whole lot, but it's definitely not the same size. And the pans themselves are also bigger, but the back does say they both contain 9 grams. So I don't know if the pans are just bigger and shallower. I don't know how that works, but it is heavy, it's weighted. It has a nice mirror in it with this really cute little Tinkerbell detail on the bottom. So here is the palette. Definitely unexpected, not what I would have thought for a Tinkerbell collection. I would have expected pinks and purples. I'm actually glad they went in a different direction. It makes it a lot more unique. I have been loving green eyeshadow lately, so not mad at this one bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the entire palette. That first shade is a little bit close to my skin tone, so you can't really see it too well. But this green shimmer, wow. Absolutely beautiful. So those are the first 3 shades. It's kind of hard to see the 2 mattes. So you can definitely tell the difference in the shimmers. Like, there's definitely a smoother formula and like a chunky, more textured formula. Not chunky, but kind of chunky. Like, there's a more thick textured formula and then a smoother one. These are really awkward swatches. I'm sorry. So there are the next 3 shades. And the last 3. So there's a palette fully swatched out. It is kind of hard to see these 2 matte shades against my skin tone, but there's really good pigment on all the shadows. This green one right here is calling my name. It is so shiny, so sparkly. Definitely might have to use that one on the lid. So I am going to zoom you in and do a look. I'm going to try to use as many shades as possible, maybe one of the Super Shocks, but I only have 2 eyes. So let's just go ahead and get into the look. So I'm going to start with that kind of light shade. I don't know if it's going to show up. This is definitely not my preferred kind of eyeshadow shade. But sometimes these really light shades surprise you and have a little bit more pigment than they look like they're gonna have. This one doesn't seem to be doing that. I guess it showed up a tiny bit. I mean, if you have a very fair skin tone, that might show up better on you, but on me, it's just pretty much my skin tone. So much for that shade. And then I'm just gonna go in with this slightly deeper one as my transition. That one's pretty fair too. So if you have like a medium to deep skin tone, these 2 colors might not be very useful to you at all. Like, this is barely showing up on me. So I am trying to build this brown shade up. And I am obviously dragging that down to my lower lash line as well. So I'm going to take a smaller brush and go in with this grass green. Oh, it's a little powdery. And then I'm going to go in with an even smaller brush and deepen up my outer crease with this really deep kind of forest green. So now I'm going to go in with the shimmers. I think I just have to put this one on my lid. Like, I can't not. I love these like extra flaky cut. Wow. That shade is absolutely beautiful. It reminds me of the green in the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette. So if you wanted that palette just for this particular shade, maybe check this one out, because it might be a dupe. It is definitely a little flaky. I got a little bit of fallout. I'm going to go in with this darker green shimmer on my lower lash line, just over that green matte. Then I'm actually gonna take the green Super Shock shadow and I'm gonna put that on the inner part of my lower lash line. I don't know why I didn't just do that with my finger. I definitely think Super Shock shadows apply best with a finger. And then I'm going to take this lightest and I'm going to take this lightest pale pink Super Shock shadow and pop this in my inner corners. I love that color as an inner corner highlight. And now for the eyeliner, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use the coppery one just to see if it shows up metallic. I don't think it's showing up much at all, honestly. Okay, maybe it's just me, but I don't feel like this copper liner really showed up too well. Like, it definitely made my waterline a little bit brown, but I really had to like layer it on. Like, my eyes are actually watering because I went in so hard with that cream gel liner. I definitely don't see it much on the waterline. Maybe I'll go over with the green one just to see if this one's a little more impressive. Okay, I don't much see this one either. What is going on? Like, do I have to warm it up a little bit? Okay, I'm gonna stop trying because my eyes actually hurt. Wow. So, not a huge fan of those liners, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw some mascara on and come back to finish up my final thoughts. So I am back with the finished look. I just went ahead and did some mascara, and I did some faux freckles, which I've never done before. You're like, yeah, girl, we can tell. So I don't know how that worked out, but in terms of the makeup, starting with the eyeshadow, first of all, packaging, 10 out of 10 out of 10. It goes without saying, I am in love with this packaging. The eyeshadows themselves, probably not my favorite color story. I do like green eyeshadows, but not so much this particular tone of green. I tend to prefer olives and army greens. I do think that no matter what you do with this palette, you are gonna end up with this like grass green kind of look. I mean, it is a green palette, but there's not a whole lot of versatility in terms of what you can do. Do I think I will be reaching for this particular palette too often? Probably not. Probably not gonna be my first choice for a green look, but even if it was just for the packaging, I'm happy I have this. The Super Shock Cheeks, I actually really enjoyed. I like this tone as a blush on me a lot. I love the highlighter, one of my favorite formulas of highlighters, so I kind of knew I was gonna love this one. And even this deeper blush isn't too dark or intimidating once you put it on the face, so I might actually reach for these. I actually really like this tone of blush, so happy I got these as well. So the Glossy Lip Stains, I did really want to try these out, so I'm glad I got to try them in this collection, but again, they're not my favorite formula. They are kind of like a gloss. They don't ever dry down. I did go ahead and reapply this one, the more brown tone one, when I did my mascara, but like they don't dry. They're glossy, but they're not glossy enough. Like they're kind of like a weird in between a gloss and like a traditional lipstick. I do like the effect that it left on my lips. I was kind of going for this like popsicle, kind of more pigment in the middle, and a really like blurred out lip line. I feel like it was really easy to get that with this particular product. I just went ahead and patted out my lip line with my finger so that I could get that like smudgy kind of look. It works with this, but again, I don't know how often I will be reaching for this particular formula. And as for the cream gel liners, like I'm actually pretty disappointed in these. I'm shocked. I love the cream gel liners that I have from Colourpop, but these are not it. I went in so hard with this copper shade and nothing really happened. It was kind of there, but not enough to even make a difference. And like my eyes are still watering. That's how hard I went in with these liners. And even this forest green one didn't show up all that much. I don't know if it's the formula. I don't know if it's because they're metallic. So I will of course try these out again and see if it's maybe just this time, maybe because they're brand new. Don't love these. Actually, disappointed. And the Super Shock shadows, it goes without saying, I love Super Shock shadows. I know I was gonna love these. You kind of can't really go wrong with this formula. If you already love it, you know you're gonna love these. It's just based on color. I like this selection of colors. This is an absolutely beautiful inner corner highlights. I don't have any similar to these two colors, so glad I got these to add to my rather large collection. And it's good to see something stand out, even when you have that many. And the packaging is just, I can't say enough about the packaging of this collection. So overall, not the most impressed I've ever been with a Colourpop collection. I hate to say it, but not my favorite. Packaging, my favorite. But in terms of the products themselves, probably only a few things in this collection that I'm going to be reaching for on a regular basis. So I do love it. I'm happy I have it. I'm definitely gonna display it. Packaging alone is worth every penny I paid for this. So yeah, that was it for this video. If you enjoyed it, I hope that you would consider liking, subscribing, and coming back for some more content. Bye.